Well, my mother started this business in 1967, basically out of economic necessity. She was a trained nurse and registered midwife. It was 1967. The marriage bar existed in this country. She could not hold down a permanent job. What was she to do? She was advised by a very good friend of hers locally that she had plenty of land. She should break out into a field and build with the idea of keeping guests. And that is how Tara Farm in Kenmare was born. Well, we had land and we decided that to make the whole business economically viable, that we would go into the self-catering business. We applied for planning permission for 2 dwelling houses. We made it clear to Kerry County Council that we were going to rent these properties out to self-catering guests to basically expand our business. We did it. It has been very successful and we're very happy that we did it. Well, it's going through what I would call a very dangerous period, because most of the people that are operating bed and breakfasts in particular, the age profile of these people is from 60 years old upwards. There are no young people going into it. It's labour intensive, it's expensive, and they have diversified themselves into different things. A lot of people are very highly educated now and they're looking for a work-life balance, and anyone who's involved in a bed and breakfast business or a self-catering business, well, when you're at it, it's 24/7. But they're available to be passed on, but unfortunately people don't seem to do it. I'm one of a handful of people in Kerry that are actually second generation people that are running these places. Well, we're in very dangerous and murky waters at the moment. This whole idea that all of these people will have to look for planning permission is terrifying, because there was a survey done in Kenmare and a huge percentage of the properties in Kenmare that are actually offering self-catering are not owned by people who live and reside here. They're owned by people that use them themselves for 4 or 6 weeks of the year and then rent them out for the rest of the time. Therefore, really and truly, they need to make a difference between people who are actually living here and are actually making their living out of this full time, as opposed to people with no tie to the area, that if these draconian laws will come in, all they'll do is sell up, possibly to somebody else who will use them for another 4 weeks of the year. We got absolutely no government support for our self-catering business. We got €4,000 through lobbying from B&B Ireland to keep the place going. Absolutely nothing else. I have one part-time worker here with me and we got nothing. It's impossible to keep going. Well, anyone in the restaurant business will tell you that the footfall is seriously down. There are a variety of reasons for that. A lot of the accommodation is gone to government contracts. Also, the economic climate of the whole of Europe is in the doldrums. A lot of people aren't travelling. Kenmare, it's a frightening scenario, but I'm just thinking as you've asked me that question, there are 4 places in the last number of years in Henry Street alone that have closed. You have Prego, you have Charcoal, you have Packy's, the renowned food and wine restaurant, and of course the iconic Purple Heather. And when this sort of thing begins to take hold in a town, the word gets out, and obviously it is not good for business. Well, when I speak for this family, I would hope that Tara Farm would go into the next generation, but I see it changing. It wouldn't surprise me that if it does stay open, it will change. It will be very much the continental type breakfast or the room only model that seems to be so popular. So will it survive in its present form? Possibly not.